So I'm here with Alicia. Aloha in Hawaii, and today we're working in Alicia's Slovenian style bee house, which you can see behind me, where the bees are absolutely fantastic and prolific. But the problem is we've got a few swarms that went into these empty boxes, one or two that weren't occupied. So today we're doing cutouts just to sort these problems out and get them back how they should be. When Alicia was with me in the summer doing some insemination in France,
things got a little backed up.
Yeah, a little bit out of hand on a few hives. So I'm helping Alicia repay the debt, and we're getting a few things done up to spec now. So it's awesome. Enjoy!
Aloha!
Right, so we're going to inspect a hive with Alicia, and she's going to tell me what hive this is. This is
an AZ Slovenian style hive.
Okay, excellent.
Double. 20 frames.
So the frames at the bottom, they sit on these bars, don't they?
They do.
And then the actual frames, they've got little U-shaped pieces on the top, which means that the bees don't get crushed when you pull the frames in and out of the bar. So what you do is you go in and you just put the frames apart so that they're not stuck together, and you then have a frame table ready. This is a Slovenian frame table. So this is all the gear you need when you're inspecting these type of hives. So the bees are really nice. So explain the grills, Alicia. What do they do? The grill on the top there.
Okay, a lot of the beekeepers in Slovenia, I think they have about a month and a half nectar flow. So they travel with their hives in buses or trucks, and these screens keep the proper bee space. And we've been doing all these cutouts of the other ones, and that's because I didn't have these screens on here. And since this one, had the screen, we didn't violate the bee space.
Yep.
And so it's been a while since we've been in this.
So this is why the hive is so versatile, isn't it? Because that's what you're looking for when you take out the frames. When you get a frame of honey from the edge of the brood nest. And
if you can look in there and you can see that it's been capped, you can see the white capping on the edges.
Yeah.
Where the honey's been capped.
So the whole idea is, by doing a quick inspection like this, you could see if there's not enough room in the brood nest. You can take out frames to be extracted after, and you're not lifting a heavy weight.
It's about
so you're lifting
10 pounds.
Just a frame of honey, which is excellent. Looks like the top of that whole lot is all honey.
This one is too.
Look at that. Beautiful. This is one lovely colony, this is. And you see, because it's strong, there's no small hive beetle.
Well, they're in there.
There is there, but
they're doing a good job keeping them out of the hive, out of the frames in the brood. Because they're attracted to everything: the nectar, the pollen, the propolis.
That's another frame of honey. Look at that.
Nectar on this side.
Oh, nectar. So that's mostly cured though.
Yeah, we can take it.
Yeah. Awesome.
There's also a bee return that will fit along the bottom. We could place in there and brush these bees back into this hive.
Okay. See how well the frame works, isn't it? It's amazing. So you've got all the bees there on that frame holder, and this is no bees are getting stressed there. They're just going to stay there until we put them back or you brush them off. Looks like there was brood in there originally, but they've moved the brood back into honey production.
And this one was just on a starter strip at the top.
Okay.
So I have to be careful with this one.
Okay.
It's not that beetle. Okay, I'm just going to put this one back in there and let them finish. Because if we get a lot of rain, it's better to have
a good reserve in there. Yeah. So what you're saying is you shouldn't really take out all your reserves, even if it seems to be full, because it's better to keep plenty in there. Sometimes you do get a bit of a dearth to you.
Well, on my side of the island, I get periods of days where we have rain on end, and so sometimes the bees can only, they can't leave the hive.
So we're just doing a little cutout here from this AZ hive, but it wasn't actually set up as a hive, it was just storage, and a swarm came in. So this is the kind of thing you get loads and loads of combs of soft, liquid honey, liquid wax that is just like literally holding itself, because it's so tropical here. And every time you get a swarm move in, you've got to be on the ball. And unfortunately, Alicia was away. And this is what happens when you leave it for 2 weeks. It's unbelievable. But it's great because the bees are strong and there's no small hive beetle here. Everything's good. So although this isn't brilliant, this is what we've just cut out. We managed to save a lot of the brood for this, these combs. They're nice and straight. And you can see the top was where the honey was. We couldn't put the honey in because it's just so soft and so wet. So now we've reassembled this brood section to the middle bit where they would have done normally. And the queen we didn't find, and this time she's probably in that pile up there somewhere. But there's no real stress. So we're going to basically bank this out now with the frames all around, and we can close it up and it will act as normal. But it's completely controlled now. We can now carry on using this as a normal colony and inspect it as we want. Take bees and brood from it, take honey from it when you need, just to keep it the right size, or expand it more if you want to eventually into another colony. Nice. This comb is so warm and so soft. I imagine it'd be like the best clover comb you could buy in the equivalent, because it hardly maintains itself. Look at it, I'm having to hold it, it's almost fallen apart there. Quite a lot of honey. Nice combs, absolutely delicious combs. And what we're going to do is we've already taken some frames from this top section, just 2 on each one, and 2 from the brood, and made a nuke from it, and then also given it space at the top, because I had no idea, but these hives work really well, and once they get going, you've got to constantly take frames from the top, or the two or three either side, with obviously maintaining all the other problems like small hive beetle, but keep them strong, and they perform so well. They build out these colonies like there's no tomorrow. So we've harvested some honey from this top section, and we're going to put another section in there, which is so good, because what you do, we put these metal support rods back in. This all supports the bee space within the hive. There's all this bee space is all worked out. That's why the AZ hive is so good. And the frames slide in to the back there. We're going to put brand new frames in, but we're just going to put honey frames this time, not brood frames, because obviously we've got the excluder there anyway, so the queen won't be in it. But basically that's the beauty of these hives. You can have 1 section, 2 sections, or 3 sections as they grow, and you can remove honey just on frames like this. That's just capped honey on this hive stand. You can remove cap frames when you're ready and just extract them and put them back in. So you're always reducing that swarming impulse, because you've always bees given them space. But not too much space so they dwindle, but just enough so that they profit from being strong. And when they get too strong, you can remove sections, you can make a nuke. They're all universal size frames. They're AZ frames, they're very similar to Langsdorff, I believe, in size. So, and the bees have been really good today, to be honest. So with this nice weather, let's look at that view here in the Hawaiian tropics. To show you the front of this bee house, it's absolutely gorgeous. This is a mobile unit, by the way, so that's the one we're doing at the end. This is so pretty. And there's the big bee house at the back, the main one. So this is a mobile unit that you can move it around to where you wanted if you wanted to. So it has a door that comes down and shuts the rear off, and obviously it's protected from the rain at the front. And what happens, the trailer backs underneath this, and then literally you just lift it up on the trailer, hydraulics pick it up, and off you go. It's very basic, very simple, but it's amazingly effective. So this is the AZ hives. And the top ones are the 3 brood nests, or three deeps. In other words, that's 10 frames, 10 frames, 10 frames, and the bottom ones are 2 lots of 10 frames, so it's 10 frames and 10 frames. These are 3, that is 2. But they're all looking rather good. Some are just empty, but those have got their covers on. Look at that, absolutely packed full as well. But this is what happens when you put the covers on. It means that all the bee space is there. These are actually feeders as well. A really good thing is you can pour feed into this top there, and the bees can feed it without you having to open the colony. Everything of these hives has been thought out and beautifully engineered, and it really is beautifully engineered. You have a bottom tray you can pull out. You check for varroa mites, or check for, see if you've got small hive beetle here, but that's nothing in comparison to how many there is in some colonies. Absolutely fantastic. This is a really cool system. So what you're basically doing is you're not lifting any weight like we are with supers in the UK. We're putting supers on when our flows come. This, because the flow is permanent, all you're doing, to be honest, is in this particular area of the world, Hawaii, all you're doing is actually removing frames when they're full and replacing them, but leaving enough so that if there's any dirt, which there rarely is, but sometimes you get rain here. Sometimes you get rain for 2 weeks. But it's just so warm and so humid, it's fantastic. So that's how you can have a bee house and not have to lift heavy frames and heavy supers two or three times a year, is by doing it this way, by having the AZ hive, which is obviously the Slovenian hive, which is based on this method. So anyone could manage this colony. It's maximum, you know, one frame of honey is the maximum weight. It's a beautiful way of doing things, there's no doubt about that. So that holds and locks that in. So you get absolutely zero, anything but zero, but perfect bee space. Beautiful. I've got plenty of room now to grow away. A lot of their bee food actually comes from these queen palms, I believe they're called. You can see the white fluffy things coming off halfway up. Well, that's their flowers. And if you look over there, you can see a lot more as well. But basically, the bees absolutely adore it. It's a bit like when we got our cordyline flying in, cordyline in the UK, very similar, and they produce Trachycarpus fortunei. Bees love the flowers. I think a lot of all palms, the bees love the flowers. So you can see here there's just an abundance. Everywhere you look is these palms, and the bees just go mad on them. So it's so lush and green here. I can't tell you how amazing it is. The heat and the humidity are just unbelievable in Hawaii, and that's why you've got such a problem with small hive beetle. So these are the small hive beetles that cause all the problem. See how the bees are herding them? Oh, look at that. The bees absolutely hate them, and often when you open the hive, the bees are actually herding them into one corner. When you actually squash them, all the bees are like, oh, thank you. See how the bees are going for them there? But not all the time. It's a classic small hive beetle. Look, you can see it really clearly, that one. So anyway, this is what you've got against, what you've battled against. We just looked inside this hive, and this is a lovely hive. All is good, and we've actually got the rear on this time, so it's actually, they don't build any comb on the back of that, so it's a nice healthy hive. But they see the bees have actually constricted the small hive beetle to the back. Trying to get focus so you can see there's the beetle traps. They sit on top of between the frames, and actually if I can drag a couple out, I'll show you. There's the traps. Beetles get chased in by the bees. If I could show you one, take it off, and there you go. What happens is small hive beetle goes in, and then basically the bees propolise them behind. Yeah. But Alicia fills these with diatomaceous earth, which is crushed up fossil shells, and it's really sharp, and basically the small hive beetle get cut to pieces, which is brilliant. So let's put this back in there, but you can see how it works. See, this is a classic hive beetle trap. Usually you'd fill these with oil. There you go, see there's one on every one there. And look at them in the corner there, look, see, trying to hide. But it's falling apart as you cut it. Look at that. Fortunately we lose a few bees, but it'll just have to be crushing strangs, it won't be in time to. But it's just beautiful and it tastes amazing. Mmm. 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 Hawaiian honey is the best I've ever tasted.